This is Microsoft Word Simulation 2A. So this is going to be about tables. So really the instructions are pretty easy and pretty cut and dry. I'm going to show you different ways to do the same thing. Just remember, the simulations do not always let you do it the way I'm going to show you how to do it. But there are several different ways to do the exact same thing in Microsoft Word. So with the insertion point in a blank document, click the insert tab, which is this. Then we're going to go to tables, and it tells you to click the table over here and do a 4-row. So I'm going to go down over here. Now you can just do 4-row and 2-column by going over here. I don't really like doing that. I like going and clicking on insert table, and that way I can type in the number of columns and rows. Now remember, it's row 4 and column 2, but columns are on top, so you can either type it in or use the spinner. So this is 2 and this is 4. You can do it whatever way that you want, and you can leave these around fixed as what you want to do for right now. And that did the exact same thing as if I just choose it from the insert and did the little columns in there. So in the first row, we're going to type in objective. Notice that it's in all capital letters. Now, one thing I do want to note, when you hit the tab key, it does not insert a tab. It goes to the next cell. So if you want to do a tab key, you're going to need to hit Control Tab. And I do not believe Control Tab is going to work in the simulation. So we'll use the keypad to do that. So we're going to press objective, and then we're going to do tab. Then in the second column, we're going to type in technology. Remember, you must type it in exactly the way it does it. Otherwise, it won't let you go on. Technology, writing, and editing, position. And then press tab. If you do something wrong, it won't do it or it'll tell you invalid action. So now we have summary of qualifications. Hopefully I spell everything right. And everything else auto-completed. So the third row, we're going to type in experience. And hit the tab key. And it gives you, make sure your insertion point is in the second column in the third row. And to the left of the cell marker on the insert, we're going to do text from an object. So basically, we're going to do text from a file. When I did it the first time, it marked me and said I wasn't doing it right, even though I was. So if you get that, don't panic. It's no big deal. Remember, I cannot see the chats right now. So if you have a question that's related to what we're doing here, please feel free to ask it. If not, I'll get to the chat afterwards. So we're going to go to insert. Now notice there's nothing here that says object. So you're going to need to hold your mouse over till you get it. This is date and time. This is signature. Here is object. So we're going to click the down arrow. And if you just click this, it will make you reset it. So don't worry about it. If you have to do it, just click on the reset here and it will work. So let's go and click the down arrow. You want text from file. It brings up experience. We're going to click on insert. Now notice this end of cell marker's got a paragraph mark over here. Notice the advantage, remember, of having the paragraph marks, the printable characters showing, so you know, or the non-printable characters showing, so you know what's going on. It tells us to hit backspace, and that will get rid of that paragraph mark. Now we're going to do honors and activities. Going to press tab. And that takes care of that. So we're almost halfway done. Select all of the text in the cell to the right of summary qualifications. Here's an easy way to select it. Yes, you can go in there and use your mouse to select. But if you hit the tab key and there's text in there, it will select it. So that's the easiest way to do that. So in the home tab, we're going to click on bullets. So let's go to the home. Here is our bullets. With the bullet list still selected, we want to decrease the indent one time. So this will make the bullets go closer to the left. So notice this is decrease, this is increase. If you click on this, it will give you an error. So let's click on decrease. With the bullet list still selected. We want to double click the format painter to activate it. So let's do that first. And you can see that it is activated. So we're going to, in the cell to the right of experience, select the lines that begin with right, responsible, and winner. So here is right, here's responsible, and winner. So we're just going to drag down here, and it should add the bullets for us, which it did. On the Home tab, click the Format Painter to turn it off. I'm going to talk more about the Format Painter because you actually don't have to double click it, but we'll get to that when we actually go into Microsoft Word. I will go over some of these things, and if you have questions on how to do things, let me know and email me, and I'll make sure that I address them. In display the table tools layouts, in the first cell, point to the vertical border. This is a little bit tricky in here. So we're going to go to the layout tubes over here, and it says point to the vertical border between the two columns display. We don't want this, it's this over here. Notice that there's a little thing over here, and then drag it to the 1.5. So this is about 1.5. In the cell size group, use the width to set the width of the column to 1.4. So we can make the width 1.4. In the cell size group, we're going to click Auto Fit, then Auto Fit to Window. So here's our Auto Fit. Just click the down arrow and Auto Fit Window. On the left border of the table, point to the upper left corner of the cell containing honors and activities to display the one-click row column insert, and click one time. So we're going to go, here is honors and activities. It's a little tricky to find, so just go on the border here and go to the left. You see a little circle, and there it is with a plus, and then you click on that. So that will automatically add a new row above. If you don't like doing that, you can click here, and let's see if the simulation works. And we're going to right click, and we're going to choose Insert Row Above. So you can do it that way, but for this one, we'll just do it the way that tells us to. I'll click here, and boom. So you do it whatever way you feel more comfortable. In the first cell, you're going to type in education, press the tab key, and I probably spelled something wrong. Allowed, gonna have to fix that, so we don't care about that.
Of the new row, type.
Alright, so I must have spelled education wrong. So, education, press tab, and then we're going to type in University of South Florida, Tampa, Florida, and press enter, and everything else looks good. Click anywhere in the top row of the table. So this is the top row, so we're clicking anywhere. And we want to go into the alignment group, and we're going to do the cell margins. So remember, cell margins are top, bottom, left, and right. So we just need to find margins over here, which is right here, cell margins. Click on that. And then we want to go to the top. We want to put 0.04 and the bottom 0.04. That'll give us a little bit of space on the top and bottom. So let's go. You can click and do 0.04. You can type it in that you want. Now don't do the left and right. Do top and bottom. And it then tells us to click OK. So you can see you put a little bit of space there. On the table tools, rows and alignment, click Insert Above. So here's our table tools. And here is Insert Above. So that put a new row on top over here. With the table selected in the merge group, you can do merge cells. There's also an easier way to do it if you want. So we can go, here's the merge group. You can merge cells, or you can right click and choose merge cells. And anything that's selected will get merged into one cell. On the Home tab in the paragraph group, click the diagraph launcher in a paragraph, and we're going to do something with the spacing. We're going to put a tab spot. So we want to go to tabs, which is in paragraph, and down here is tabs. So we're going to put in a 6.5 tab, and we're going to align it right. Now, nothing happens until you either click on set or OK. If you click on set, then it lets you do another one. If you click on OK, it's going to set it and then close it. So we'll do what it tells us to do. So notice that we have a tab set over here. It tells us to type in Josh Hayes. Now, I'm going to type Control Tab. I do not believe it's going to work, but let me try it again anyway. And it actually kicked me out. That's pretty cool. Let's see if it's here. It did not work. So it just moved me to something else. So what we'll do here, and it does tell you if it doesn't work, use the on-screen keyboard. So here is our on-screen keyboard down over here. For you Mac users, if you have a Mac, then you may need to use this as well when you, because I don't know if you have the command key on every one. So I'm going to click on Control, then I'm going to click on Tab, and then I'm going to click on Go. And notice that I put a tab. Again, see this little arrow here? That's a result of this being turned on, which is your non-printable characters. These characters do not print. So we're going to type in 727, which is obviously the area code. It doesn't tell whether there's a space or not, so we'll put a space anyway. 13, and says press enter. So that worked. In the second line, we're doing 1541 Dearborn Lane, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33713. Then we need to do the Control Tab again, which is down here. Control, then Tab, and Go. Puts in the tab here, and we will do J. Hayes. At alcona.net. In the first row of the table, select the name Josh Hayes. So we'll just go in here and select it. And we're going to change it to 16 point. And we want bold. So let's do bold and 16 point. You can press Control B for bold as well. Okay, it does not look like it is bold. The reason I know it's not bold is because that's not highlighted. So I'm going to hit Control B. And there we go. Under Josh Hayes, click anywhere in the second line of text. And which contains email. In the Layouts tab, we're going to do spacing. And we're going to add 18-point spacing between the first row of the table and the second row. So it tells us again, go to the Layout tab. And here's our spacing. So we want to do, in the spacing, we want to add spacing between the first row and the second row. So let's go and do after, and we'll do 18. So we want to do 1, 2, 3. So that takes care of this. And notice you can see the little spacing in here. In the second column, click anywhere in Technology Writing and do 18-point spacing after. So again, we just do 1, 2, 3. Remember that paragraph is spacing affects the whole paragraph, so you can just click anywhere in it. To remove all the borders from the table tools, we can just select the table on the ribbon tools. I'll show you another way to do it, and we'll choose no border. You can go to select and select table here, or notice this little kind of like a box with a plus sign in it or a cross. you can click on that and that will select the table. So you again do it the way that you feel the most comfortable in here. Then we're just going to go to border. There's different ways that you can do the border, but in here on the ribbon, click the Table Tools Design. And then let's go to the Borders button and click No Border. Here's Borders. And we'll just choose No Border. That gets rid of the border, kind of makes it look kind of ugly. So now we, let's see, we clicked in here by clicking the preview and click the entire table and the borders, click the borders arrow. So again, we're going to do the same thing in here. And let's go to borders arrows and go all the way down, and we're going to go to borders and shading. Now I'm actually doing this without reading it, so every time you do that I get burned. So let me go back and read and make sure that doing it right. So we want to do a top and bottom border that are a little bit different. So we want to do a custom top border and a custom bottom border using the 9th for the top and the 10th for the bottom. So we'll do it tells us to do the 9th. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And here is our top. And then for the bottom, we'll do 1 below it. And here is the bottom. And if I did it right, everything will come out nice. So we do have it top and we do have the bottom. And it looks kind of nice there. In the first row of the table, click anywhere in the text, Josh Hayes. So we'll click anywhere in the text. As soon as you click, now, one thing you need to be very cautious of, if this is selected and you hit a key, it will all disappear. So be very careful of that. So I'm going to click here and we're good. And then we want to add 18-point spacing before. So we'll go to the Layout tab and we'll go 18-point spacing before. So the assignment is over according to this thing. I'm going to click OK to submit the assignment. And notice the ugly blank screen over here. So we're done.